welcome to the July 10th, 2025 meeting of the Rotary Club of Louisville. I'm Lori Flanery, kind of president of the club, former CEO of New Directions, hoping to get my summer on soon. I'm a Paul Harris Fellow also, so welcome to the meeting. I want to remind you all, if you have a device with you today, if you will please silence it or turn it off for the duration of the meeting. We would very much appreciate that. And now for our invocation, I would like to invite to the front of the room Henry Heiser Jr., Chairman of Unistar LLC, major donor, and one of the best darn presidents we've ever had.
First of all, I want to, on behalf of all the past presidents who have joined me in thanking Laurie for an amazing year. I was in this position 14 years ago, and we know what it takes to do this job. So I'm very grateful for keeping this wonderful Rotary brand. So for those of you who are American history buffs, you know that this month is the anniversary of the Civil War Battle of Gettysburg. That was in 1863. Where 162 years ago, there were an estimated 50,000 casualties and over 7,800 known deaths. My invocation today is written by a Confederate soldier who was seriously disabled by the 3-day battle, and is an example of beautiful grace and light of significant personal suffering. I ask God for strength that I might achieve. I was made weak, that I might learn humbly to obey. I asked for help, that I might do great things. I was given infirmity, that I might do better things. I asked for riches, that I might be happy. I was given poverty, that I might be wise. I asked for power, that I might have the praise of men. I was given weakness, that I might feel the need of God. I asked for all things that I might enjoy life. I was given life that I might enjoy all things. I got nothing that I asked for, but everything I hoped for. Almost despite myself, unspoken prayers were answered. I am, among all men, most richly blessed. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Henry. That was absolutely lovely. Now to lead us in the pledge and the Rotary four-way test is Lisa Chardine, Executive Director and Co-founder of First Hour Grief Response, Inc.
All right, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the four-way pledge. Is it
True? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Lisa. Okay, now it is time for Rotarians who have brought guests to today's meeting to please go to this microphone to my right or left. What you're going to do is introduce yourself first, Rotarians, then introduce your guests, indicating their name and duty affiliation. Guests, when you hear your name, if you will please stand briefly so the rest of the club can put a name with a face. Thank you.
Hello, fellow Rotarians. Hello, President Flanery. I'm Bridget Johnson. I am the current CEO and President of New Directions Housing Corporation. I would like to introduce my guest, Kendrick Porter. Kendrick is the owner of Exercise Coach. It is a wonderful business that's in St. Matthews and Middletown. He is a graduate of Central High School, and we welcome you here.
Welcome.
President Laurie, I'm Rick Hart, a longtime District International Service Committee Chair. My guest today is Larkin Bowman, who has had a fascinating career, serving first in the Army National Guard. Then she decided to go to sea, working with a cruise line, and then, because it was more of an opportunity, with the research vessels. And she became a videographer, helping communicate the work of the scientists to the broader public. And now she does that very often on speaking presentations.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, President Lori, fellow Rotarians. I'm Gerald Fuller, and my guest is Richard Taylor, who is an energy advisor with Matrix Energy Services.
Welcome.
Hi, President Lori, I'd like to introduce my guest, my best man, my wife Ann, the school teacher who is enjoying the last few weeks of summer vacation.
Well, thank you, Rotarians, for bringing these wonderful guests. Thank you, guests, for being here. I usually say when I ring the bell next, you'll know the meeting is over, but since this is a transition meeting, when Ken rings the bell next, if the guests would make their way to the What is Rotary table, it's the table closest to the doors over here to my right, and it has a placard that says, What is Rotary? You would just give just a few minutes of your time to hear from an experienced Rotarian about our club and about what Rotary is all about. We would appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, as always, we have a few Rotarians in the spotlight. We want to congratulate Yvonne Smith and One West on the $1 million grant for the West End revitalization from the James Brown Foundation. Congratulations to those Rotarians whose organizations were recognized as one of the 2025 best places to work in Greater Louisville by Business First. Karen Morrison with Gildas Club, Louis Straub with Independence Bank, and Jeremy Verkuka with Miranda Construction. Congratulations. We want to note that there's an article that you might want to read in Louisville Business First. It's about Alan Parnell, one of our Rotarians, who's the founder of Mr. P Express. He was recently featured highlighting his miraculous recovery from a health scare and his firm commitment to help even more people now and in the future. So please check that out if you get a chance. Congratulations. Now I'd like to invite to the podium Kevin Lynch, Growth Director at LBMC, Paul Harris Fellow +5, and past president, and of course one of the best darn presidents we've ever had, for a special presentation.
I want to recognize one of the really best past presidents. I'm the top 100 best president. Like I said, a hell of a job. Thank you for all you've done. I also want to just recognize briefly Brooke Pardue. I've done this for years and observed her leadership over the years when I worked for the city as well as before and after. And she's really transformed our park system, making it available to everybody, making it neighborhoods that didn't used to have parks. She's really done a tremendous job leading others, and I want to thank you for that. Get my own script here. Each year, we pause to remember those in the Rotary family who have passed away in the last year. One of the ways we do that is by honoring them to provide a grant for the planting of a tree in their memory. This year, we are awarding a $27 grant to the Parks Alliance of Louisville, led by Brooke. I would like to invite Brooke Pardue, the President and CEO of the Parks Alliance, to join me at the front. I have an extra sign here.
The marker's right there if you want to sign.
Take this straight to the bank.
The important question is, do you have the actual check?
That's for me. And actually, there's a little bit of fraud here. This one you cannot take any money. However, this tiny little one's worth a lot more money. So you just want to do that. recognize and acknowledge the impact these Rotarians and of this club in our community, please join me in a moment of silence as each name is read. Larry Barker. Rabbi Chet Diamond. Bill Rutledge.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Bert, for being a part of the memorial that we did. It's very special that it's with a fellow Rotarian. Now I'd like to invite to the podium Barbara Sexton-Smith, Interim Director of the Library for Louisville Metro Government, Club President-elect, and Paul Harris Fellow +8 to the podium to induct the new members.
All right, 8 is the official number of infinity. Take that for whatever that's worth. I might be up here all day. Well, hello and good afternoon, fellow Rotarians, distinguished guests, and soon-to-be newly inducted Rotarians. I'm going to invite 4 folks to join me at the podium. Please come up front. Scott Warner, Jillian Misbach, Justin Breitenstein, and Graham Shelby. Well, fellow Rotarians, as we seek to grow our membership so that we may not only increase our impact and our influence as a club, but also we want to extend the spirit of Rotary all throughout our community. So today it's my honor and my privilege to get to induct 4 new Rotarians, and you all look absolutely amazing. You all have been elected and selected to membership in our club because we believe that you possess the qualities that will lead you to exemplify the true spirit of Rotary and the 4-way test. And you've been admitted not only to the 13th largest Rotary club in the world, but it's a global organization with more than 45,000 clubs all across this beautiful planet. You are also welcome at any time to visit any of those clubs. I just met 20,000 Rotarians from 140 countries in Calgary at the International Convention. They all told me to ask you to please visit their clubs. That goes for all y'all, too. Rotary membership adds value to everyone who engages, whether by attending our meetings, events, participating in our service projects, or sharing your knowledge and talents as we live out our motto, service above self. So it's my honor now to formally induct you. We will do this one at a time. And at this time, I'm going to ask Barney Sutton, Vernon Foster, and Kristen Boone to please join me. Each of these current fellow Rotarians will be reading the biography and formally inducting one of the individuals. Barney, you are up first as we induct Scott Warner. And don't be so afraid, the rest of y'all. Come on over.
Where do we stay?
Right over here. Scott.
It's my pleasure to introduce Scott Warner as a new member of our Rotary Club. I met Scott approximately 5 years ago when he started dating a member of our family. They're now engaged, so I guess it's safe to assume he's going to be a permanent fixture in our extended family. Scott was born and grew up in Bergen, Indiana, which is in northern Indiana. He attended Bethel College in Mishawaka, Indiana. He graduated in 1989 with a degree in accounting. He received his CPA license in 1999. His work career includes electronics, banking, manufacturing, distilling, advertising, transportation, and logistics. He is currently working for Forbes Nazars as the manager of outsourced accounting services to build the practice unit for the local office. He enjoys playing tennis, board games, wine, and traveling. Scott's active with the St. Matthew's Baptist Church. Scott has been involved in Habitat for Humanity builds, food, clothing, drives for the homeless and underserved individuals, food delivery for the elderly, and other efforts as needed. Scott says he's looking forward to working with fellow Rotarians to give back to the community we all serve. Here's your pen.
All right, Vernon Foster will induct Jillian Misbach.
Well, this is an honor and a privilege. The best darn co-worker. And maybe one day a president of the club. Jillian Misbach is a higher education professional with over a decade of experience in student recruitment and admissions. Her career started at Center College in Danville, Kentucky in 2010, where she graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Neuroscience, a Bachelor's of Science in Neuroscience in 2011. Jillian later earned her MBA at Sullivan University in 2019 with a concentration in conflict management. Currently working as the Director of Graduate Student Recruitment at the University of Louisville College of Business. Her responsibilities include strategy, domestic and international recruitment, participation on the leadership team for the College of Business, and it is the best darn co-worker. Again, she specializes in graduate recruitment, leveraging her extensive background to connect prospective students with advanced educational opportunities. Anyone here need an MBA? Please talk to her. Her career reflects a consistent dedication to guiding students through their academic journeys. When she is not busy recruiting graduate students, she loves to spend time with her family, which includes her husband Colin, little girl Charlotte, looks like Barbie, and her baby boy Arthur. On the weekends, they can be found at Joe Creason Park or the Louisville Zoo. Coming from a family, a history of Rotarians from Florida, now in Kentucky, Jillian is proud to be part of this wonderful Rotary Club. Congratulations.
Now Kristen Boone will induct Justin Breitenstein.
Well, I'm honored to welcome Justin to the club. Justin is a Senior Business Development Officer within PNC's Institutional Asset Management Department. In this role, he consults with institutional clients to identify solutions and actionable insights regarding their investment and ancillary needs for retirement, charitable, and corporate assets. Justin began his finance career in 2007, serving in various roles within commercial and retail business banking segments. He joined the institutional team, my team, in January, so happy to have him up this year after successful completion of the globally recognized CFA charter program. Outside the office, Justin enjoys spending time with his wife, Jasmine, and two girls, Natalia and Vivian, who are going into their second year of high school and first year of middle school. Bless your soul. He is a past president of the South Louisville Rotary Club and is looking forward to getting back involved with fellow Rotarians. Welcome, Justin.
All right, Graham Shelby, please join me over here. Don't be afraid. There we go. All right, fellow Rotarians and guests, Graham Shelby is an internationally renowned storyteller and a storytelling consultant for many businesses and nonprofits. He helped coach the storytellers who participated in our recent Story Fest, led by Marianne Elliott, earlier this year, and it was sponsored by the Tommy Elliott Fund. Now, Graham has written many articles for outlets like the New York Times. Anyone heard of the New York Times? Reader's Digest, and Garden and Gun, among many others. Now, Graham has also written speeches for the governor, Governor Andy Beshear, and for Mayor Fisher, and for Mayor Greenberg. And some of those speeches were delivered right here to us, well, should I say, in much larger venues with much larger audiences, as our former mayors and governor delivered State of the City or State of the Commonwealth addresses. So thank you for that work. If you love the speeches, you're looking at the speech right now. All right, now Graham also directed the Muhammad Ali documentary, City of Ali, which I hope everyone will take the opportunity to see. I saw it for myself on a flight home on a Delta plane, and there on the screen is our very own Lonnie Ali at your seat where you're buckled in for safety for a fabulous flight, looking right at you saying, please watch our beautiful City of Ali film, and then buy a ticket and travel to Louisville, is what she says. It was on PBS stations, and it's been seen all over the world. Graham has been invited by our State Department on a national level to travel to a number of embassies around the globe, and he stood before groups of people and showed the film and conducted and facilitated panel discussions. Now next week, right here, you're going to share the documentary with our fellow Rotarians who will be taking part in the Rotary Summer Leadership Seminar. Now, Graham and his beautiful wife, Gabrielle, are the proud parents of adult triplet sons. I've known Graham for 100 years or more. I did not know that you all had triplet sons. So there you go. He's proud to join the Rotary Club of Louisville. Please give Graham Shelby a warm welcome. Graham, along with our three inductees and our presenters, please come in close as Deline comes up in front of the podium and put those beautiful imitation emblazoned lapis enamel pins on your lapel.
All right, so if you put Barney and Scott, Barney and Scott, and then, yeah, stand next to your All right. You guys have to get really friendly. Really friendly. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barbara, and the sponsors. And I say thank you also, and congratulations, but really thank you to our new inductees for becoming a part of the Rotary Club of Louisville. We're happy to have you. Now I would like to invite to the podium Walt Kunow, past president, and of course, another one of the best darn presidents we've ever had, to the podium for a special Rotary Award.
Thank you, Lori, and I want to echo what Henry was saying a minute ago, was that we know what it's like to have this job. And it was a job of pure love for me and fun, and you have done an amazing job, and hopefully you had that much fun too, so thank you on that. All right, it's my distinguished honor today to talk about, I can't even count, so some folks. In a club of almost 400 members, choosing one Rotarian of the Year is a challenge, but this year seemed pretty obvious. Yet what became quickly evident that we couldn't choose just one Rotarian of the Year. This year's winner of the district's 6710 Rotarian of the Year award has served in more roles in his 26 years as a Rotarian than anyone could ever recount, but just to name a few in the recent past. District International Service Chair, District Global Scholarship Committee member, District Area Assistant Governor, and past District Foundation Chair. He has played a major role in this club's Youth Exchange program in recent years, and he has helped reestablish the Rotary Club of Louisville. He was instrumental in recruiting families to participate in Raleigh Partners Imagination Library, and he frequently speaks to other clubs about Rotary's role in international service. Despite the fact that he discouraged any recognition of his service, he has received a Service Above Self Award from this club and a Service Above Self Award in 2020 from the International Rotary. And there was less than 200 of those awards out of 1.4 million members. So that's a truly prestigious service of self. But we know that this person truly deserved it. He received this year's Lifetime Service Award in 2011, and I think that was your year, so that was a pretty good year. Yeah. So he never been named Rotarian of the Year until today. And honestly, his record of service this past year is not, according to his wife, particularly special. He's just steady. He's a good teacher who readily shares his vast knowledge of all things Rotary, and he helped bring people along. But perhaps his best gift to Rotary has been recruiting his wife, Mary Ellen. While she has only been a Rotarian for 3 years, she has traveled with him all over the globe since 2014 as part of the Rotary International Travel and Hosting Fellowship Program, where he served as an administrator for 3 years and remains on the advisory board. Through his organization, they have traveled together to and been hosted by Rotarians from New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Argentina, Germany, England, Ontario, British Columbia, and Canada, and they've been to El Salvador 8 times. So I think they're experts on some of this stuff. They have utilized the program in the United States as well as visiting other states. And of course, they host visitors from all over the globe at their home here in Louisville. Each one of their trips involves some element of service, and many international projects have come out of it, including a long-time project in El Salvador, which has brought clean sanitation to 22 schools. That one deserves a round of applause. He has 7 more planned. Y'all know him. He's a master gardener that helps at the homestead parks as part of the wild ones. He served as a Boy Scout leader, of course he has. He's shown up for many other service projects. In fact, his wife says he just shows up for everything. Together, they just returned from the International Rotary Convention in Calgary. The key word here is together. These two Rotarians do so much work together. They say behind every great man is a great woman, but in this case, of this couple, that's not true. In this case, there's a great man beside a great woman, and she's pretty accomplished in her own way. Mary Ellen retired from a career of service, most recently leading a nonprofit providing for elderly people with disabilities, and Rick helps support these services as well. She serves on the board of Kentucky Refugee Ministries and is integral in this club's efforts sponsoring families. She has led drives to furnish homes, has taken on various outings, often using Google Translate to communicate any problem that they would have had. She serves as co-chair of this club's International Service Committee. Both Rick and Mary Ellen are among the most knowledgeable about us, about our international service efforts and the global impact that Rotary makes. Together, they have greatly influenced and increased the impact of our club. Rick and Mary Ellen are Paul Harris Fellows, Rotary Foundation level Major Ford Fellow. You heard Rick say recently when he was recognized as District Rotarian of the Year that he shares the recognition with his wife, that little what he does couldn't happen without her by his side. She is the travel organizer, keeper of the travel calendar, and advocate for much of the service work in which they both engage these days. As we recognize him today as our Rotarian of the Year, he literally shares that with his wife, because for the first time in this club's history, we have 2 Rotarians of the Year. We acknowledge all that they've done together for the past year and the decades preceding. Please join me in congratulating Rick and Mary Ellen Hudson.
We are greatly honored, and that is not a royal we. That's us. 14 years ago, I was honored with the Lifetime Service Award in this club. I was totally shocked and surprised because I didn't feel like I had been doing much. And I made a commitment at that time that maybe I should get started trying to earn that. I had a perfect partner for doing that, and we've had a lot of fun and met a lot of wonderful Rotarians around the globe. And we're going to keep going, right? You want to say it?
Stop, Rick. I don't think I have any words to say. I learned my husband would be honored to be included in this recognition. It means a great deal. But we are indeed partners, and that has been a joy to work actively in this club. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Walt. That was lovely. And congratulations to Rick and Mary Ellen. We are so lucky to have you all in our club. Thank you. Okay, now we start the transition. I am pleased now to recognize our club and fund directors who have completed their board terms or are moving into a different role. So please rise as I call your name, and audience, please hold your applause to the end. Immediate past club president, and again, one of the best darn presidents ever, as of July 1st. Past chair also of the Rotary Fund of Louisville, because that's what you do after you're the club president, Kevin Lynch. Please don't do a round of applause in here. I'm sorry, I cannot follow rules. Okay, my past president and advisor, and so for those of you who don't know, a few years ago, Walt was in charge of having our bylaws updated. And one of the things that was put in our bylaws is something I'd never heard of before, but I really like it, and I really appreciated it as my year as president, is that the year that you are president, you are able to select any past president that you would like to be on the board to help advise you as you go about the day-to-day of running the Rotary Club. So you can always call past presidents. I've done that myself, but it's really nice to have somebody that's literally on the board and that's the middle of that. So mine is past president, one of the best darn presidents ever, Alice Bridges. And Alice also was one of my two sponsors along with Rick Hernan, and the reason that I'm in the Rotary Club of Louisville altogether. So thank you, Alice, for really helping me over this last year. We also want to recognize Kevin Fields Sr. He has served as secretary of both the club and the fund for 2 years. It's a 2-year term. And so he will be rolling out the secretary. However, Kevin will still be on the board because he is the chair of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. And another one of the changes that came about in the bylaws a few years ago that Walt spearheaded was to include specifically, a formal DE&I committee and to institutionalize in our governing documents whoever is the chair of that committee is an automatic member of our governance, of our board of directors. And part of that is to make sure we honor that and recognize it at the highest level. And part of it is also to increase our pipeline and to make sure we're getting as diverse of a population in the pipeline as possible, because sometimes that can take time. And so I applaud that as well, and I'm really glad Kevin will continue on the board. Now we have several members who are completing their second year of a 2-year term as an at-large club board member. So we want to recognize Claire Arnold, Kevin McCarran, and Louis Seeger. So please join me in now applauding and saluting the dedicated board members and thanking them for their service. Thank you, Louis. I think you might be the only one who stood up. Rule follower, banker, that's a good sign. Okay, now, the following will continue their service into 2025 and 2026 Rotary year. I'm going to remain on the club board as immediate past president, and because of that, I will also be the 2025-2026 chair of the Rotary Fund of Louisville. Ken Selvaggi will be the 2025-2026 club president, as well as the chair-elect of the Rotary Fund of Louisville. And then Craig Mooney is serving another year as treasurer of both the club and the fund, but it's a staggered term as secretary, so this is his second year of a second-year term as treasurer. Now, the club at-large directors who are serving their second year, thank you, Craig, for standing, that are serving the second year of their 2-year terms are Gary Dryden, Alyssa Gray, Maggie Harlow, and Louis Straub. And I took Kristen off that list and let Ken know I missed that earlier. Kristen actually is starting fresh, and so Ken will introduce her as a new member coming in. She was serving an unfilled term, so we're going to go back and look here. Our fund at-large directors are Ann Monell and Michelle Black-White. And so Ken will be recognizing, like I said, all the new board members and officers that will be coming in. So let's give everybody a big So I want to thank each Rotarian who serves in governance for our club. Rotary is, of course, all about service above self. And one way to provide that service is through club leadership. We've noted club and fund leaders, but we also want to applaud our continuing foundation chair, Amy Luttrell, as well as our strong contingent of committee chairs. Another way to serve our club is through volunteering. You could volunteer in a Rotary project in our community or around the world, and we've had lots of people do that, and we've had very good participation this year. We can always use more, so please, be aware of that as we enter into the next year, our next Rotary year. But we've had good participation, and we've had some really great projects we can be proud of. So thank you to all of the volunteers on the service projects. My Rotary year as president came right after I represented the club at the annual Rotary International Convention last May in Singapore. This year's contingent just returned from Rotary International Gathering in Calgary, Canada, and we had a very strong showing this year. You're going to hear a lot more about that later in future meetings and probably in Sparks as well. It is important that we engage globally, as Rotary is a global entity. It's also important to connect at the District 6710 events, at the PETS training, the annual Big Club Conference, and we are considered to be a big club. We want to belong globally, and we want to belong with all Rotary clubs, but there is a little bit of distinction in how clubs operate at the big club level, so that's very important as well, and we're always well represented at that. We also want to visit other Rotary clubs when possible. Delene and I were able to visit the Birmingham Club at their invitation last fall, where we were welcomed and well hosted in friendship. Part of my orientation, as you know, when I was president-elect, is I reached out to 11 Rotary past presidents, and they all individually graciously met with me, sharing their insights into the role. And it was really important as I prepared to take on this role to understand how other people have dealt with that. So I want to thank them for taking the time to do that. It's really good for our club when leaders remain invested in its future. I have over the past year chaired 11 board meetings, so I pass that baton to you, Mr. Selvaggi. And also I have made almost all 45 of the weekly board meetings, or not board meetings, the weekly lunch meetings. I think I missed 3, and I think I only missed 1 where I was not on Rotary business. So tried really hard to show up for that. The variety of excellent speakers at our lunch meetings continues to be a key feature of our club, with each one providing illumination, thought-provoking consideration, and sometimes even entertainment. My year started with former Miss America and Kentucky Second Lady Heather French Henry, and concluded just 2 weeks ago with LuMed CEO Naderika Tivo. In between, we heard from interesting leaders in the business, nonprofit, and academic sectors. And for the entertainment part, you can't forget that we heard from Louisville-born filmmaker who's coming home from her California career to help accelerate more filmmaking as part of a true economic development effort in our Commonwealth. You also can't forget Louisville native and world-famous Las Vegas magician who performed for us at one of our December meetings. And kind of at the beginning of the Rotary year, we had a professional wrestler who made it big with the World Wrestling Federation. I learned a lot that I did not know in that meeting. And he continues to promote wrestling through media and local training facilities. The broad scope of our speakers also included those who are serving us in government, including Senator Rand Paul and Congressman Maury McGarvey on the federal level, Governor Andy Beshear at our state level, and Metro leaders Pat Malloy, David James, and LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey. And who can forget our hosting of the Mayor's State of the City Address, held at our fabulous Kentucky Center for the Arts. Rotarians represented our club well, and Mayor Craig Greenberg gave a wonderful update. I heard such great things about it from about 500 attendees. And he also whet our appetite for future exciting progress and projects that are in the works. This past year, we've enjoyed the fellowship of being a Rotarian. And so not all clubs can have the type of speakers that we enjoy and that we're able to attract. It is a key feature of our club. But they all promote volunteerism, service above self, and fellowships. And of course, one of the ways we exhibit fellowship is through our weekly, Thursday meetings. But another way is through some of the events that we have, some special events that we have through the year. And those that we've had this last year include several business synergy events, our elegant December holiday dinner. We had a spring outing at the zoo, a somewhat raucous wine swap party, Derby Weeks Wednesday, which I hope some people won, I did not win, but Wednesday at Churchill Downs, and another meaningful President's Dinner honoring our club's past presidents, where we heard from each one who was able to attend, explain what Rotary meant and what continues to mean to them. And they also gave a little bit of snippets of what their history and what their experience as a president was during that time. So it's kind of like a little time capsule. We've captured some of that on film. If you ever have an opportunity to check that out, I encourage you to do so. It's fun. Everyone who has been in the presidency knows no club can be successful without the staffing, administrative, and operating support. And that is certainly true of our club. I would like us in this room, Rotarians and guests alike, to please stand in recognition of Delene Taylor and Tracy Pack. Helping all the time as a volunteer is Joyce Seymour. So I would also like to recognize Joyce. I would like to recognize our IT support, which we could not do our meetings without, and as well a relationship with the University Club. The entire year I've been president, we've been here, and for several years before that we were rotating, and that can be fun. But I've really enjoyed this excellent relationship that we have with the University Club, and just the service and the accommodations and just the friendliness and the partnership. The chair of the Alumni Club is Greg Braun. He's also the past president of our club and one of the best darn presidents ever. So we want to recognize all of those people as well. So if you don't mind, just kind of a quick applause, because it really does make the president's job a lot easier to have that kind of professionalism and support. I'm pleased to report our club is in good hands going forward with the continuing and incoming leadership. It has been an honor to serve as this club's president. Thank you for all the support. I feel support by everybody, but some have been extra support, and you know who you are. So thank you for that. It has been, it's not unnoticed, and it's very gratifying actually. So thank you for everybody, and thank you for the extra support from some. Now, as I head into my new role as immediate past president, IPP for 1 year, and then just past president, right? I'm hearing that that's actually the best title to have in this club. Now it's my pleasure to welcome our new president, Ken Selvaggi, to the podium. First, a little bit about Ken. Ken has been a member of the Rotary Club of Louisville for more than a dozen years. He's been married to his wife, Ann, for more than 30 years, and she's here with us. As you know, he introduced her as a guest earlier. And worked in the radio and television broadcasting industry for more than 45 years. You can't believe it. I mean, you were 12 when you started. For the past 3 years, he's been the general manager of the ESPN Louisville Radio Group after serving as vice president and general manager of Wave TV for more than a decade. Ken currently serves as the board chair of the Kentucky Derby Festival Foundation and previously served as the chair of the board of the Kentucky Derby Festival and Leadership Louisville. He also serves on the Co-Chair for Kids Advisory Board, and he was actually on a Zoom call today as I was coming in, trying to get as much of that done before he had to come here as possible. So he wears many hats. He's also on the board of Jefferson County Public Education Foundation, the Imagination Library of Louisville, and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association. He and Ann are blessed with 3 children. Please welcome, as I pass the gavel, to the 2025-2026 Rotary Club of Louisville President, Ken Selvaggi.
Thank you for kind of walking me through every step of the way.
Thank you for being
The incoming president gets an opportunity to work closely with the current president.
Right on either side of this bell, so I can get his.
Oh, you're not, okay, this is for the.
No, let's scoot over a little bit, scoot on. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, sorry, all
Thank you
right.
for the direction. As always. Thank you.
One of the things that I thought was particularly spectacular about Lori's year, and we all have a part in it, are the new members that we brought in, and we had 4 more today. It seems like that was a more regular occurrence this year, and every time it happened, I was, wow. I mean, these are not just new members, they're terrific members. And that's the heart and soul of any great club, are the members. I think Barbara mentioned we just got back from Calgary at the International Convention. Clubs from all over the world, unbelievable people. I went to so many seminars I can't even see straight. But I came out of all of them thinking, we do it well here, and it's because of you. We have incredible committee chairs, incredible committee engagement. I got to sit in on 2 meetings this morning, speakers, and very briefly lifeline 2 of our better committees, but they're all amazing committees, and it's because of all of you. So, thank you. I'm supposed to introduce the following incoming board director members, and the first, I'm really excited, Barbara Sexton Smith is the Club President-elect and Vice Chair of the Rotary Fund of Louisville. Barbara's a rock star. She has really already jumped into it. She was at Pets in Chattanooga, Memphis, wherever we were. Chattanooga and Calgary, taking copious notes. So she's actually super ready to be president now, and she's been a long-time member of the club, a terrific member of our club, and she'll be very engaged. I've asked her at the end of our meetings because she's a great engaged person, I want to have an element of her every meeting, but to encourage you to come to the next meeting by giving you little snippets. I'll do today, because next week is somebody I chose, but the Speakers Committee chooses the rest. So Barbara will be a part of what we do moving forward. Jay Mallory is amazing. He's going to begin a 2-year term as secretary of both the club and the fund. He's the guy in the middle. Julie Schmidt, will you stand? I've selected Julie to serve as my past president advisor. She was an amazing president, as all the presidents were. I've known her personally through working with her, in addition on the Kentucky Broadcast Association board, where she was a former president there and did a phenomenal job. She got us through some challenging times as when she was president, and I love her wisdom, I love her energy and enthusiasm. So I'm looking forward to having you on the board. We have 4 new club at-large directors: Steve Jester, Jeff Underhill, Kent Wayland, and Kristen Boone. So thank you all. We're looking forward to your service. And Fund at-large director Susan Zepeda, the one and only Susan. Come on, you got to stand. Susan's amazing. Of all the committee meetings, her service committee and her service project work is just second to none. She will continue to help with that committee. She's just not going to lead it. Thank you all for the willingness to serve, and I certainly look forward to working with you on our mission. Can I take a moment here to ask and congratulate Mary Ellen and Rick again. They're everywhere and do everything. Talk about great members. And all former presidents of our club, can you stand? First one up is Lori. It was great to see you. I had the privilege of being in the club for all of your presidencies except John, but John is still a hard worker, and I get to work with him now. I appreciate what you've done, to keep moving our club forward. There wasn't a president that I haven't seen that did make a tremendous impact, and there's several in this room as I look out who make an impact every day without being president. And so thank you for all you do. But I look up to you, I'll lean on you, and from where I have been sitting, I've always been so impressed by each president and their energy, their drive, their passion for what this club is and can be. It was about 30 years ago that I was invited to my first Rotary meeting, and was super impressed then. At the club, it was in Huntington, West Virginia, my wife's hometown, and I've been privileged to be in other Rotary clubs in other states, even served on boards of other Rotary clubs, but no club's finer than this club. It's just amazing. The theme of the Rotary International for the new Rotary year is Unite for Good, which I love, because that's what our club members do very well, year after year, offering your time, talents, treasures to our community, and helping us unite for good. So I think it's a great theme. I think it's timely. I think it's needed, and look for amplification of that. Let's continue to celebrate each other, cheer each other on, encourage each other, amplify the good works we do. That'll be a big part of what I'm hoping happens, especially with our Public Image Committee. Let's continue to work to heal the needs we see. You never know what's going to come up in this coming Rotary year, so let's actively be able to respond. The world we live in changes by the day, so when things come up and we can be a help, that's what we're here for. This is great leadership in our community. Come to our weekly meetings. It's not only terrific to enjoy fellowship and the great speakers, but it's kind of important that you hear all of the wonderful announcements that go on. And join us at our many social events that Lori talked about. They were all fun this year. Hopefully will be just as fun next year. Reach out to your club members that you aren't familiar with and welcome our new members as they come in. Talk us up with your family, friends, and colleagues. I got to do a better job of that, I think, to let folks know what we do and how we do it and who we are. You know, your hearts for our community drive our club, so keep up your drive and desire to uplift our community. You're all givers, and that's what makes our world a special place. Now I go to my readers, which I'll do often. With your continued good works, helping attract new members, because that's what attracts the new members, the good works that we do. I hope we can surpass 375 fully engaged members and amplify our public image. I talked to Louis Seeger before the meeting, and he wants 400, so have at it. We've had that 375 goal, I think, each of the last 5 years, and we come close, but we're gonna get there this year. I think we're at 360, 365, so.
I think we might have got up to 375 with our June incentive.
Oh, here we go. We already achieved our goal. So, Louis, if you're still here, 400 sounds great. If we engage with each other through committee work, service project involvement, you know, we will attract more folks, I think. We can interface more with our other local and regional Rotary clubs. Try to keep that outreach going. We can also grow our social media presence. Don't look to me to do that, but I'll try. But there's some of you out there that are probably a lot better at it. You know, when we do great good works, when you see tremendous pictures or whatnot, share them with your networks, which I'm sure are way more numerous than mine because you engage. You know, help our new members become more knowledgeable about us and what we can accomplish together. Our core values of service, fellowship, integrity, and diversity enable us to live our vision, which is to be Louisville's premier fellowship of business, professional, and civic leaders dedicated to selfless humanitarianism and civic service and improving lives. Developing a strong, growing, and active membership makes it all possible to do those things, and will be at the heart of my service to you. And that's what the year is going to be about. I'm here to serve you and help elevate you. There's a new Rotary International president, the very impressive woman that led us from the United States this year, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, handed it over to an equally impressive gentleman from Italy who spoke to us at Calgary about being a humble servant leader, which is what I'm all about, which is what I try to be. And so I'm here for you all and our community. That's what it's all about, making our community better, service above self. You are very talented people. Your hearts for our community are the driver for our club. You're the givers, and the world needs more of them. So let's lift each other up, soar to new heights in our collective lives. And I'm going to appreciate you now because I know I won't get through the year without you. I'm looking at Craig, who's another one of those incredible, talented people. But it's just a joy to see all of you here, and I'm looking forward to serving you, so thank you. Next week, as I said, I asked Kathy Dykstra to speak. Kathy is one of my favorite people in Louisville. There are so many impressive women that make a positive impact, not just on our community, but on the whole country. And I think Kathy's going to really impress you with how she has kind of elevated communities, not just here, but throughout the country. She's going to show the impact that Family Inc., Family Scholar House has had, and remind us of what is possible when we invest in people. She is really good people. I'm sure a lot of you know her, but please come out and support her. We have a QR code if you want to just scan that now, because you have till Monday to register for that. I know Barbara's going to do a much better job than I just did at selling next week, but trust me, Kathy is worth your while. Also, Elaine would like to make sure she's integral in this. Next Saturday, July 19th, we're hosting, our club, I guess, Summer Leadership Seminar, Rotary Zones 30 and 31. Ryan Hall, pretty good guy. He's replacing Beth Stubbs, who spoke to our club a few weeks ago. She was awesome. He's the representative of the Rotary National Board of Directors, pretty high up. He'll be here with leaders of other zones. As I read this, I won't be there. I'll be at a family wedding in Ireland. I'll be back for next week's meeting. Anyone is welcome to register for this event next Saturday, which will be at the Indiana Wesleyan Conference Center, 8:30 to 4. If you're not interested in attending the seminar, there is a social event Friday night here in Louisville. Elaine was asked to be part of that planning team, so she has planned a tremendous Friday night event. Tour of Churchill Downs, viewing of the newly released Greatest Race film, which I've seen. It's really impressive at the Kentucky Derby Museum. A delicious Kentucky themed reception catered by Bristol at the Kentucky Science Center, and then a screening of the City of Ali film and a Q&A with Graham Shelby. So here's your opportunity to see that film. That's Friday the 18th, next Friday. So you get to do all those things, see a couple of great films, and hang out with some impressive Rotarians. Delaney has already sent that email out, so look for it. And then looks like Renee Brown's over to what is Rotary table. He can tell all our guests to join Rotary. We are adjourned.